Italian Wine Podcast. Chin Chin with Italian wine people.
Hello, this is the Italian Wine Podcast with me, Monty Waldin. My guest today is Davide Champion, I hope I got that right, who is the International Sales Manager for Sella and Mosca, which is based in the central northwestern part of the island of Sardinia. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Thank you.
Hi, Davide. So just remind us exactly where Sardinia is and then exactly where Tenute Sella and Mosca is located.
Well, Sardinia is right in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, so absolutely not far away from the Tuscany coast, but right in the middle, in a very strategic position, if you want, climate speaking. And Sella Mosca is based in Alghero, so the winery is close to Alghero city, which is in the northwest part of the island.
Okay.
One of the three major cities of the island.
So why is it called Sella and Mosca?
Very easy to answer. Mr. Sella and Mr. Mosca are the founders of the company. 1899, they founded the company.
Okay, but they were quite sort of interesting characters. They were, as you said, they're from Piemonte, and they were, they were adventurers who ended up on the island. And
yes.
One of them was a lawyer, and one of them was an engineer. And what did they do?
I'm sorry?
What did they do?
You said correctly. They were adventurers. They were pioneer in whatever they did, actually. And they went all around the world. And when they landed down in Sardinia, they found this amazing place. Actually, the specific location is called I Piani. It was a huge extension, and they say, this is the right place for all the overall conditions we have around to start this business. That actually the beginning was not to produce wine. Well, it was a nursery growing, to help the replacement of the vineyards destroyed by the Phylloxera in the previous century. So they had this right idea to arrive in Sardinia, to buy this place, to refurbish this place, and to start this business. So they were very pioneer in this.
So they drained the land and they planted their own vineyards, and which is an incredible, thing in itself. How big is the estate now?
Sorry, I couldn't hear very well.
How big is the estate now? It's a very large one, isn't it?
The estate now, more or less, is over than 600 hectares.
Wow.
And considering 550 hectares, more or less, under vines, we are still considered one of the biggest property in terms of unified vineyards. No different slots here and there, but in terms of all the vineyards in the same slot, we are considered one of the biggest in the European scenario. Yeah, so it's pretty big, especially considering the number of hectares under vine. Since we have over than 500 hectares under vine in the same slot, we are considered one of the biggest unified winery in the European scenario. That's what I was saying.
Now, so you brought a wine in today, didn't you? Which is the wine?
Well, the wine we decided to bring with us today is the Vermentino di Gallura Superiore, called Monteoro, from 2016 vintage.
Tell us about that. Is that like a super oaky, rich, fat wine, or is it more of an everyday drink?
Well, it's basically considered an everyday drinking wine if you drink the wine pretty young. As I said, it's a 2016 vintage, so pretty aged, but absolutely it's not fat oak the wine because it's 100% stainless steel. So it's an interesting evolution of a white wine, a little bit far away from its.
Sorry to interrupt you. What is your favorite dish with this unoaked Vermentino? When you're at home, you're relaxing with your family. What do you do?
we are talking. Okay, we are talking about Sardinia. We are talking about typical food of Sardinia. So I will definitely pair the wine with spaghetti all'aragosta from Alghero, the typical aragosta di Capocaccia. Would be so the lobster pasta with lobster would be, in my opinion, the perfect pairing with this wine. You know.
When you cook that at home, how do you do it? Do you grill it, or how do you do that?
Oh, it's the lobster you mean to prepare the pasta?
Yeah.
It's prepared on the padella. I missed the name. Sorry.
In the frying pan.
Exactly. It's not grilled before to prepare the sauce for the pasta.
And what about the ageability of that wine? Given that where you are has a very particular terroir, doesn't it, with some granite soil? Does that make the wine very approachable early on, or is it a wine that you should keep for years and years and years?
I wouldn't say years and years and years. It's a kind of wine that shows exactly the expression of the terroir where the wine is produced. As you mentioned correctly, you know, the classic granitic soils makes this Vermentino very different from the others we produce in Sardinia. But you can see, especially with this check we are doing today to taste the wine after a few years, the wine has at the same time a great potential aging. So it depends. You can either drink the wine fresh, but I would suggest at least after 1 year from the production, from the vintage. But the wine can easily age also 4 or 5 years, no problem.
Okay.
So 2 different options.
Okay, and the main markets for this?
The main market for Vermentino Monteoro is Europe, I would say, and a couple of markets, Switzerland and Germany, as the most important. Beside, obviously, the domestic sales, because we are definitely strong domestically speaking. But talking about export, Europe mainly. And the market number 3 is Japan. We do a great job in Japan with this Vermentino Monteoro.
And is that because of their cuisine? It fits their cuisine very well.
Absolutely, yes. These are the basis. But I would say also that years and after years, we did a great promotion and supporting of this wine, especially considering the pairing with the tuna fish preparation. And so, since our very good relationship with our partners there, we did a great job in promoting and presenting and doing a lot of tasting and whatever. It became years and after years a great combination for some tuna preparation in Japan. And so we can say today that we are very well established there for this reason.
This may sound strange. I'm in Montalcino at the moment, which is obviously, as you know, is in Tuscany. And we probably have more Sardinians in this area than we do Tuscans, for example. A lot of them came over, as you know, in the 60s because they're sheep farming. There's a lot of land here for sheep. And all they talk about when they talk about is food. So when you say that this wine has had a huge success because you've strategically targeted it as a food and wine pairing and had that amazing success, I'm surprised more companies don't do what you've done. You know, it's a great thing that you've done, and you've obviously had massive success with that. Well done, you guys. Thank
you so much. But definitely Vermentino di Gallura, for its characteristic from any producer, and Monteoro specifically, I would say 100% food wine pairing. Yeah, you have to pair with something which is really, really interesting.
Just give us a couple of typical flavors you find in the Vermentino.
When you produce a Vermentino di Gallura, you absolutely expect to find something typical from that area, which is fascinating for us because it's completely different from the rest of the island. So I want to expect, and our Vermentino Monteoro, in our opinion, absolutely reflects the terroir and the area. I want to find the typical herbal notes of the Mediterranean bash. This is the number 1 first position. I want to feel dried herbs. I want to feel myrto, the plants of myrto that we have in the middle of the vineyards. I want to smell the eucalyptus, alicriso, which is another typical Sardinian herb. So
yellow, isn't it beautiful?
Herbal notes, that's what I expect. definitely, and what the typical Vermentino di Gallura has to show. Absolutely. So Monteoro has these characteristics, fortunately. So that means that our wine absolutely respect the terroir and the area where it is produced,
Fantastic. I want to say thanks to you, Davide, today for telling us about this particular wine. We've covered, I think, geology, history, drainage, food, tuna, and lobster, all in one very short interview, which is a world record. And we can do a whole series, I think, with just you and me talking about these various elements that you brought to the conversation. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in Sardinia. And the best of luck with this particular wine. You've been a great interviewee. Thank you.
Thank you for hosting me. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Ciao.
Ciao Monty, nice meeting you. Bye.
Alla prossima. Uguale.
Alla prossima.
Sì.
Grazie, stay safe, mi raccomando.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, cin cin.